Lockdown. Predator breach in Sector 7. The automated warning detonated across the Interstellar Military Academy like a bomb. Every cadet in the outdoor training yard turned to stone. Not figuratively, actually froze mid-movement, mid-breath. Muscles locked in the terror response drilled into every species that had ever encountered a Zethian predator cub. Instructor Kael'thas's voice cut through the alarm, deadly calm. No one moves. No one breathes heavily. No eye contact. 50 cadets became statues. The Zethian cub, barely knee-high but packed with enough muscle and fang to disembowel an armored soldier, prowled into the yard. Its 6 legs moved with that distinctive ripple flow that preceded every recorded Zethian kill. 3 previous breaches this month. 2 fatalities. 5 critical injuries. The cub's sensory tendrils extended, tasting the air for movement, for fear, for prey. Then it turned toward the human. Emma Johnson, maintenance technician 3rd class, was crouched by the ventilation unit she'd been repairing, wrench still in hand, completely oblivious to the lockdown sirens she'd apparently mistaken for a drill. Human, Kael'thas hissed, his translator barely functioning through his terror. Do not move. The cub's head snapped toward Emma. Its maw opened, displaying rows of crystalline teeth that could shear through titanium. The territorial snarl started low in its chest, the sound that preceded every attack. Emma looked up from her work. The cub snarled louder, advancing, and Emma Johnson growled back. Not a human scream, not a whimper. A full-throated guttural growl that came from somewhere deep in her chest. Aggressive, dominant, territorial. The cub stopped. Its tendrils retracted slightly. Then the human started laughing. "Oh my God," Emma said between chuckles, standing up to her full height. "Look at you. Who's a fierce little guy? Who's a scary boy?" "Human? No." Kael'thas couldn't finish the sentence. His throat closed. Every cadet watched their own death unfold through the proxy of the maintenance worker. This was it. This was how humans ended. The species that had joined the Galactic Coalition only 6 months ago was about to lose its first citizen to the most dangerous juvenile predator in known space. Emma took a step toward the cub. The cub took a step backward. "Yeah, you're not so tough," Emma said, grinning. She made her face aggressive, bared her flat teeth, narrowed her eyes, and growled again. "Grrr!" The Zethian predator cub, apex hunter of Zethia Prime, terror of 3 star systems, sat down on its haunches and tilted its head. "Impossible," Kael'thas whispered. Emma crouched down, making herself smaller, and extended her hand. "Come here, sweetie. You're lost, aren't you? Poor baby." The cub's tail, lined with poisonous barbs, began to wag. "Human, step away from the predator." Kael'thas's voice cracked despite his best efforts. His translator struggled with the mixture of terror and command. "Slowly. Very slowly." Emma didn't even glance at him. She was too busy making exaggerated faces at the cub, scrunching her nose, baring her teeth, widening her eyes in mock aggression. "Who's gonna get me, huh? Who's gonna get me?" The cub's haunches wiggled. Its sensory tendrils flared with what the xenobiology texts described as pre-attack stimulation. Then it pounced. A collective gasp rippled through the frozen cadets. The last sound 50 beings expected to make before witnessing a human's death. Emma caught the cub midair. "Gotcha." She laughed as the predator's momentum knocked her backward onto the training yard ground. The cub landed on her chest, and Emma immediately started scratching behind its auditory ridge. "Yes, good boy, such a good jumper." The cub's tail wagged harder. The poisonous barbs retracted into their sheaths. "This is not happening," whispered Cadet Janira from her frozen position. "This violates every known behavioral model." Kyle Thas's hand moved fractionally toward his emergency comm. Speaking felt dangerous. Any sound might trigger the predator's kill response. Except the predator was currently rolling onto its back while the human rubbed its belly. Its belly, the most vulnerable point on a Zethian predator. The location they guarded with lethal force. The area that, if exposed, meant certain attack readiness. The human was scratching it. "Oh, you like that?" Emma cooed. "You're just a big softy, aren't you?" "Yes, you are. Yes, you are." The cub's 6 legs kicked in the air. "Trank Team, Sector 7, now!" The command came from the observation tower. Instructor Vexathul and 2 security officers burst through the training yard entrance, weapons raised. Emma glanced up. "Oh, hey, don't shoot him, he's friendly." "Human, get away from—" Vexathul froze mid-sentence as the cub turned its head, saw the armed officers, and pressed closer to Emma, hiding behind her, using the human as a shield. "It's okay, buddy," Emma said, wrapping her arms around the cub. "They're not going to hurt you. Bunch of dramatic weirdos, but they're harmless." "It's using her as protection," Vexthul said, his voice hollow. "A Zethian predator is exhibiting subordinate pack behavior to a human." "Sir, permission to break stance?" Cadet Rahil said through clenched mandibles. "My leg processors are failing." "Denied. Any movement could—" Kael'thas stopped. The human had stood up, the cub still in her arms. She was carrying it, like cargo, like a pet. "Where's this little guy supposed to be?" Emma called out. "He's got to be lonely. Where's his mom?" "Put it down," Kael'thas managed. "Humans die from Zethian contact. The venom alone." "Oh, has he been licking me?" Emma looked at her arm where the cub had been nuzzling. "Huh, tingly. Probably should wash that." She shifted the cub to one hip, like it weighed nothing, like it wasn't a 100-pound murder machine. "So, containment? Where is it?" The command. Tower doors slammed open. Ranking Officer Zilax, whose 3 military decorations included survived Zethian encounter, descended the stairs at combat speed. His security detail flanked him with heavy-grade weapons. He stopped 15 feet away, staring. Emma waved with her free hand. "Hi, I'm Emma. Maintenance. This guy belongs to you?" "That," Zilax said slowly, "is Specimen X7. Juvenile Zethian apex predator. Escaped containment 43 minutes ago. Responsible for 2 fatality incidents and—" He stopped. "Why are you holding it?" "He escaped because he's bored," Emma said, like it was obvious. She scratched the cub's chin. The cub leaned into it. "Probably needs more enrichment. Some toys, social interaction." She paused. "Do you guys know anything about animals?" "We know they're lethal," Zilax said. "Well, yeah, if you don't socialize them properly." Emma set the cub down. It immediately pressed against her leg. "Look at this. Classic pack bonding. He imprinted wrong in containment, didn't he? No parental figures?" "Get the xenobiology expert," Zilax said into his comm. "Now, I don't care if she's off-planet. Quantum jump her here." Emma crouched down and put her face directly in front of the cub's fanged maw. The cadet's horror reached new heights. She made a play-bow motion, dropping her front half down, leaving her rear up. The cub mimicked her. "Good boy," Emma laughed, then pounced forward. The cub pounced back. They began to wrestle, rolling across the training yard in a tangle of human limbs and predator legs. "She's teaching it to hunt her," Janira whispered. "This is a hunting practice routine." "No, Kael'thas said, his worldview crumbling in real time. She's playing. They're both playing. Sir, where's the human's protection gear? Cadet Siler asked. The toxic resistance suit? The fang-proof armor? Kael'thas looked at the human's simple maintenance uniform. Thin fabric, no reinforcement, completely inadequate for anything except repairing ventilation systems. She doesn't have any, he said. Emma had the cub pinned now, both hands on its shoulders, grinning down at it. Gotcha! I win! The cub's tail wagged so hard its entire body wiggled. Humans wrestle apex predators for fun, Vex Thule said. Note that for the report. Humans wrestle apex predators for recreational purposes. I grew up with dogs, Emma said, noticing the officers for the first time. And my uncle had wolves. This is just like... She looked at the cub again. Okay, he's bigger than a wolf, and more legs, but same energy, you know, same vibe. She domesticates wolves, Kael'thas translated for the cadets, who'd started developing tremors from holding position. The humans domesticate pack hunters. Oh, like 10,000 years ago, Emma said. They're called pets now, super common. Zilax's comm crackled. Sir, xenobiologist Vexia is inbound. ETA 90 seconds. Tell her to prepare for complete behavioral model failure. Zilax said, watching the human boop the predator's nose. The predator sneezed in response. Emma laughed. Bless you, buddy. Now, who's gonna tell me where you're supposed to live so I can fix whatever's making you lonely? The cub licked her face with its crystalline tongue, the tongue that secreted paralytic neurotoxins. Emma wiped her cheek. Ugh, slobbery. Definitely like a dog. Xenobiologist Vexia materialized from the quantum pad at a dead sprint, emergency kit in her primary manipulators, tranquilizer rifle in her secondary. She'd written the definitive text on Zithian predator behavior. 300 years of research, 2 dissertations, 4 near-death experiences that made her the coalition's foremost expert on... She stopped. The human was on her back on the ground. The Zithian cub was standing on her stomach. They were playing what appeared to be a staring contest. Blink, Emma said. Come on, blink. The cub's nictitating membranes flickered. Ha, I win again. Emma rolled the cub off her and stood up, dusting off her uniform. She noticed Vexia. Oh, hey, you must be the animal expert. Listen, this little guy needs better enrichment protocols. Also, someone should check his teeth. I think he might be teething. Vexia's emergency kit slipped from her grasp. Dr. Vexia, Zilax said carefully. The human has been interacting with specimen X7 for approximately 7 minutes now. That's impossible. Zithian predators kill on sight. They don't play. They don't bond with non-pack members. They certainly don't. Vexia watched Emma scratch behind the cub's auditory ridge. The cub leaned into it, eyes half closed in apparent pleasure. This violates every behavioral model in my database. Yeah, so he's basically a puppy, Emma said. She snapped her fingers and pointed at the ground. Sit. The cub looked at her. Sit, Emma repeated, applying gentle pressure to its haunches. The apex predator sat. 50 cadets, still frozen in their safety positions, collectively questioned their entire education. Good boy. Emma produced something from her pocket, half a protein bar. The cub's sensory tendrils quivered. Now stay. Stay. She held up her hand in a flat gesture, walking backward 3 paces. The cub's muscles tensed, but it remained seated. Stay. Okay, come. The cub bounded to her, and she gave it the protein bar. Such a smart boy. Yes, you are. It's obeying commands, Vexia said faintly. A Zithian predator is obeying verbal commands from a prey species. We're not prey, Emma said. sounding almost offended. She looked at the cub. Are we, Fluffy? No, we're not. Humans aren't prey. Fluffy, Kael'thas repeated. Yeah, he needs a name. Specimen X7 is depressing. Emma booped the cub's nose again. You're Fluffy now. Much better. The human has named the predator, Cadet Janira whispered. Like property, like a possession. Okay, everyone calm down, Emma said, noticing the existential crisis spreading across the training yard. I know he looks scary, but trust me, Earth has way worse. Fluffy here is like medium-tier threatening tops. Medium-tier, Vexia repeated numbly. Sure, I mean, he's not a polar bear or a saltwater crocodile. Probably couldn't take a hippo. Hell, my neighbor had a goose that was scarier than this guy. Zilax pulled up his tactical display, already composing emergency reports. Dr. Vexia, what percentage of your predator protocols need revision? Vexia stared at Emma, who was now demonstrating a dominance display, making herself large, maintaining eye contact, and making a sharp ah sound. Fluffy immediately dropped the equipment cable he'd been chewing and looked guilty. All of them, Vexia said. Every single one. Cadets may break stance, Kael'thas announced weakly. Threat has been neutralized? Befriended? I don't know what word to use. The cadets collapsed like their strings had been cut. Our heels' legs actually gave out. Sir, do we need to revise the entire Predator curriculum? Cadet Sylar asked. We need to revise our understanding of humans, Zilax said, watching Emma teach Fluffy to shake hands with his front right leg. The Predator complied. Convene emergency session, senior staff, now. Include the human. Me? Emma looked up. I've got 3 more vents to fix today. The vents can wait, Vexia said, her voice distant. My life's work is burning down. I need to understand how you're doing this. Emma shrugged. He's a baby. Babies like structure, attention, and snacks. Pretty universal across species. She looked at Fluffy, who was now gnawing on her boot, carefully, not breaking the material. Aren't you? Yes, you are, you little apex predator, you. Kael'thas began updating his training manual files. All of them, at once. Academy Commandant Dirax arrived with an entire security battalion. His ceremonial armor, earned through combat in the Villan Wars, reflected the emergency lighting. He'd commanded fleets, negotiated peace treaties, stared down warlords. He was not prepared for the human playing tug-of-war with a Zithian predator cub using a length of cable. Somebody explain, Dirax said, why Containment Protocol Omega wasn't initiated. Sir, the human has pacified the predator, Zilax reported, through methods we don't understand. Emma looked up, still holding the cable while Fluffy pulled from the other end. Oh, hey, you must be in charge. Listen, your containment setup is terrible. No wonder he keeps escaping. He's bored out of his mind. Dirax's primary and secondary hearts missed synchronized beats. The human is critiquing our containment? Well, yeah. Emma gave the cable a playful tug. Fluffy growled, but the tail wag suggested pleasure, not aggression. Look, I can get him back to his enclosure if you want. Just need something he likes. You got any more of those protein bars? We have standard feeding cubes, Vexia offered weakly. Okay, that'll work. Emma pulled a cube from the bag Vexia handed her. She showed it to Fluffy, then threw it toward the containment building. Fetch! The apex predator bounded after it like an earth retriever. Every military officer present felt their reality crack a little more. He'll bring it back, Emma said confidently. She noticed their expressions. What? Oh, right. You guys don't do this. She walked after Fluffy, who was indeed returning with the cube in his mouth. Good boy. Drop it. Fluffy dropped it. Now come on, let's get you home. The procession that followed would be analyzed in tactical review for years. Emma Johnson, maintenance technician, walking calmly toward maximum security containment. Fluffy trotting beside her, occasionally looking up at her like she hung the stars. Behind them, the entire command structure of the academy, weapons drawn but completely unnecessary. Emma examined the containment cell. Yeah, this is depressing. He needs toys, climbing structures, maybe a companion. How social are these guys? Highly, Vexia said. In the wild, they hunt in packs of 20 to 30. And you've got him alone in a concrete box? Emma shook her head. No wonder he's acting out. He's lonely. We kept him isolated because he's too dangerous for... Drax stopped. You're saying we created the behavioral problems? I mean, probably. Back home, we figured this out like 10,000 years ago. We took wolves, pack hunters, super dangerous, and bred them into dogs. Now they're humanity's best friends. Emma encouraged Fluffy into his cell with another feeding cube. Domestication through selective breeding and socialization. You domesticated wolves, Kailthas said. Apex predators. Oh, wolves aren't apex predators where humans live, Emma said absently, adjusting the cell's enrichment features. We are. That's kind of the whole thing. Humans competed with every major predator on Earth and won. She paused. Well, except maybe mosquitoes. Those bastards are still winning. Drax pulled up a holographic display. Show me Earth's predators. Emma pulled out her personal device, swiped through photos. Okay, so these are grizzly bears. They're like 8 feet tall, 1,000 pounds, can run 30 miles per hour. We camp in their territory for fun. The assembled officers leaned in, then collectively stepped back. These are saltwater crocodiles. Ambush hunters, bite force around 700 pounds per square inch. We wrestle them on nature shows. For entertainment, Vexia breathed. Oh, and big cats. Lions, tigers, leopards. We put them in zoos and schools bring children to look at them. Emma scrolled further. Great white sharks, venomous snakes, hippos. Actually, hippos kill more humans than most other animals, but we still have safari tours. You willingly enter their hunting grounds, Drax said slowly. For recreation. Well, yeah. Where else would we see them? Emma found another photo. Oh, here's my childhood dog, Max. He was a German shepherd, descended from wolves, slept in my bed every night. The photo showed a younger Emma hugging a wolf-like creature that was all teeth and fur. The officers recoiled. That's your pet, Janira said. Was. He passed away a few years ago. Miss that guy. Emma looked genuinely sad, then brightened. But my sister has a Rottweiler now, even bigger, super sweet. Drax turned to his command staff. Draft new protocols. Assume humans are apex predators who domesticate other apex predators as companions. Update threat assessments, revise curriculum, and someone get me the Earth's full fauna database. Sir, what classification do we give humans? Zilax asked. Drax watched Emma wave goodbye to Fluffy, who was pawing at the reinforced glass, trying to follow her. Terrifying, he said. We classify them as terrifying. The emergency council session lasted 6 hours. Emma spent most of it confused about why everyone was making such a big deal out of basic animal behavior. So let me get this straight, she said, sitting in a chair designed for beings twice her size. You've been treating predators like natural disasters instead of animals? They kill efficiently and without mercy, Vexia said, surrounded by shattered research notes. What else would we treat them as? Students, Emma suggested. Look, any animal can learn. You just need patience, consistency, and treats. Works on everything from goldfish to orcas. Orcas? Kael'thas pulled up the database. His translator made a sound it had never made before. Something between a choke and a whimper. These are orcas? Humans swim with these? Well, not the wild ones, usually. That's more of a I accept death situation. Emma laughed. But trained ones? Yeah, they do shows and stuff. SeaWorld had a whole thing, though, that got controversial. Humans train these, Dirax interrupted, his command voice cracking. By day 2, the Academy had implemented emergency human-predator interaction protocols that essentially boiled down to, if a human is present, disregard all previous training and watch what they do. This is humiliating, Cadet Sealar muttered, watching Emma conduct her first official training session. We're military cadets, elite candidates, and we're learning to make kissing sounds at predators. The human calls it positive reinforcement, Instructor Vex Thule said, taking notes as Emma demonstrated a clicker device. Apparently, Earth discovered operant conditioning centuries ago and applied it to everything. Emma had 3 junior Zithian cubs responding to basic commands now. Sit. Stay. Come. The instructors watched like they were witnessing sorcery. Okay. But how do you establish dominance? Kael'thas asked, genuinely trying to learn. You don't, really. It's more about trust and cooperation. Emma scratched one cub's chin. The whole alpha thing is mostly debunked anyway. Pack dynamics are more complex. It's about family structures and cooperation, not domination. Vexia added another note to her rapidly expanding file. Humans reject hierarchical dominance models in favor of cooperative bonding. Query: is this why they're successful apex predators? The request from Galactic Wildlife Management arrived that afternoon. Urgent. Need human consultants for predator containment facilities across 17 systems. Name your price. Your price turned out to be better ventilation systems and maybe some decent coffee. Emma was explaining her compensation requirements when she dropped the real bomb. Oh, by the way, I should mention, I'm more of a cat person anyway. The room went silent. Cats? Dirax repeated. Yeah, dogs are great. But cats have this whole independent thing going on. Very dignified. Emma pulled up more photos. This is my cat, Mr. Whiskers. The photos showed a small, furry creature with enormous eyes and retractable claws. This apex predator, Vexia said slowly, is named Mr. Whiskers. He's not an apex predator. He's like 10 pounds. Emma scrolled through more photos. But yeah, cats are solitary hunters, highly efficient killers. We let them live in our homes and sleep on our faces. On your faces, Janira repeated. You let solitary predators near your breathing orifices while you're unconscious. Well, when you say it like that, it sounds weird. By week's end, the Academy had restructured its entire xenobiology program. New course, Comparative Predator Studies, Earth vs. Galaxy. Mandatory for all cadets. Guest lecturer, Emma Johnson, who still insisted she was just a maintenance worker. The final decision came from Dirax himself. Specimen X7, now officially designated Fluffy, was assigned to Emma's permanent care. You're qualified, he's bonded to you, and frankly, no one else wants to try, Dirax said. Cool. But he's coming to work with me and he needs house training. I'm not cleaning up after him in my quarters. House training? Yeah, gotta teach him where to poop. Standard puppy stuff. Fluffy, now wearing a collar Emma had fabricated. He needs identification. Followed her back to Sector 12's ventilation system. Emma carried her toolkit. Fluffy carried a chew toy, previously classified as a Level 3 containment implement. Cadet R. Hill and 3 classmates watched from a safe distance as Human and Predator disappeared into the maintenance corridor. "They're just walking together," Rahil said. "Like it's normal." "For humans, it is," Kael'thas said, updating his lesson plans for the 15th time that day. "For humans, apex predators are pets." Emma's voice echoed back through the corridor. "Fluffy, no, drop the power coupling, drop it." "Good boy. Okay, sit while I fix this, and then we'll get lunch." The predator's responding chirp, a sound that had never been recorded before, sounded almost happy. "We're updating the Academy motto," Dirax announced over the command channel. "From strength through unity to never underestimate humans." No one disagreed. In Sector 12, Emma Johnson had her head inside a ventilation unit, while a Zithian predator cub sat patiently beside her, tail wagging, waiting for his favorite apex predator to finish her work. Just another Tuesday at the Interstellar Military Academy.